in East London. East London stroke Essex. I want people want to find out where they can go and do that homework. Really proud of you. How long have you been in this office?
I've been in this office now for three and a half years, I'd say.
3.5 years. And how long have you been at the head of Capital Waste?
Oh, I've been at the head of Capital Waste for 10 years now.
10 years.
Capital Waste formed 10 years ago.
So it's a decade in business.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good look. And you're going to be 40 next year, right?
Yeah.
So these are all milestones. We'll get into that in a minute. For those who don't know, talk about Capital Waste, what you do, and just how you survived 10 years in business. Because most businesses don't last that long.
Yeah.
Most black men in business don't last that long.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on all these subjects, but just talk about the core of what you do.
Okay, the core of what we do is it's all service based. It's all about providing outstanding service and being better than the others. As a black man myself, naturally, I feel like I have to do double what anyone else would have to do, because I have to outshine as a natural. So what we do is basically waste collection. We do asbestos services, we do light demolition and strip out works, and basically all of those four things, they complement each other within what we do. So yeah, that's what we do.
Did it start with all of that, or was there was one of those elements the main element and then you added to it?
Not at all. The funny thing is we actually started off with removals.
Oh, wow, okay.
So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so basically Capital Waste only formed out of the recession, funny enough.
Okay.
So I had a removal company called MAV, like standing for basically man and van. And what I used to do is go around doing removals and all those sort of things. But then what happened was, when the recession hit, everyone stopped moving. But I still had the van. And then we happened to fall into a nice little job, which was from the 99p store, and I think they bought 3 or 4 Woolworths stores. So when we took on that job, we priced the job as for all the items that were in there, and when we've gone into the stores, all that was in there was metal, and at that time China was buying metal like no one's business, so the prices were really, really good. So we were selling the metal and charging the 99p store for clearing the waste. So we saw it was like a double bubble.
Yeah, you done well.
Well,
who had the vision to sell the metal to China?
You take it to the scrap metal dealer and they send it off to China. But what it is China were paying top dollar.
So that was trickling. There was a trickle.
So it was trickling down. So they were paying top money for iron around that time. So where we done that?
Catch that. Could you try?
Sorry.
Siri's on you, man.
Siri's on me. Yeah. So after we sold that metal and made that money, it just obviously
made sense.
Yeah, it just made sense to just, okay, cool. I think there's money in waste now, and that is literally where it all started.
So it's literally, because this is one of the things that I try and get across to young entrepreneurs who are hell bent on pursuing their goal, but then they stop because they don't see the opportunity to get where they want to be within that space.
Yeah.
And my thing is just start it, because you don't know what opportunities are going to come your way. And this is a classic example of that, right?
100%. My whole attitude to that is build it and they come. I've heard someone say that before. I don't even know where the saying comes from.
It's a saying.
I don't even know where the saying comes from, but I use it throughout my journey in business. And I've always when I mean build it and they come, I bought the van, work come for the van. I bought 2 vans, work comes for 2 vans, and that is how I've continued doing it. And I've just once you've got something, you'll make the effort to make it work. If you have that drive, you have to have that drive and that belief and the vision.
So talk about the growth steps. Waste was the first thing. Well, removals was the first thing. Then waste. So I take it you found a niche in that. You've registered the name, the business, the company, Capital Waste. You said, right, this is where we're going. So how do you get into stripping asbestos and doing all that other stuff? What were the other places of growth?
Again, when you're in the waste game, people ask you, can you do asbestos? All I'd done was investigate how we do asbestos, what certificates I need to get. what red tape I need to cross, what health and safety policies I need to have, and that's all it was. That's all it was. Once you've got it, you've got it, and that's it. And then now you're open to doing something else. And it's you know what, it sounds simple, and it actually really is. But people make things more complicated when they hear, oh, you need this, you need that. Yeah, you do need that, but just cross every bridge as it comes. And once you've crossed that bridge, you've got it. That's it. No one can't stop you. No.
29 years old. You're
Yes.
making your foray into this world, and you're in a space where, for me, I would have looked at it and thought, oh, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people who do waste. So did you even think about it like that, or did you just crack on with what you were doing and you grew organically?
No, that was one of the things on the forefront of my mind was the competition. Now, competition's always healthy. If you see competition as healthy, then you always come across, you always overcome it. So my idea was to, how can I be better than my competition, even if it's just that little bit. Just that little bit. It started off with making sure we swept up after us. You see, in the waste game, there's a stigma of, you got the normal guy with his top off driving around a van and just picking up rubbish for this, that, and whatever, and fly tipping it. So with me, we was giving out waste transfer certificates. We was sweeping up after ourselves. We take before and after pictures. There's all these little niggly bits that we do, and we're still doing stuff to this day to sort of better ourselves, because there's more and more and more competition within this game. So we always try to be top service to hold on to our clients and have high retention. What
were the stumbling blocks? What was some of the difficulties that you encountered along the way?
Cash flow, staff.
Yeah. Usually.
You can't. You're not gonna get to where I am without having those problems. You are gonna have those problems. Give thanks I had my mum. She believed in me and bailed me out a couple of times. There was a situation where I did take on a job which was bigger than me, bigger than I can chew, and ended up losing 45k.
Wow.
On that particular job.
Wow.
I would say lost 45k, but when I mean cost to me, it was probably about 25k.
Yeah.
I was ready to give up.
That's a blow.
Yeah, it's a big blow. At that time, it was a big blow for me. I mean, 25 grand to anyone's a big blow.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you understand what I mean? So at that time, when the business was, I think we was operating on 1 or 2 trucks.
Right.
And 4 or 5 members of staff, but for that particular job, I drafted in more staff. Now, not to tarnish my name and to tarnish what I'm doing, I paid everyone first. I made sure all my bills were paid and so on and so forth, but then the money never come back. So I was actually ready to give up.
You created a hole. So that was where your mum came and helped you out.
That's where my mum came in.
So you learnt a lot from that.
I think that was one of my biggest lessons. That was actually 7 years ago.
Well, okay.
Because when I was going through that, my twins were in hospital at that time.
Wow. So we'll bring it back to the beginning. So
I had that stress.
So you took on the biggest job up until that point, while you were having. Was it just a case of did you get above your station? Did you just think, no, this is how you grow? You take on these type of jobs?
I did get above my station, because what I was doing was the job. Let's say the job was a big, massive warehouse. Now what I was meant to go in and do is clear the waste from there and go about my business and move on to the next one. But they wanted some decorating done. They wanted some building works done in it. They needed some gas works done, and they needed a bit of demo, which I was happy to do. But there was so many other avenues. But then again, I got above my station, and I'm like, oh yeah, well I can do that. I know someone who can do that. I know someone who can do that. But if it's not you, they're not going to concentrate on the job as much. They just want to get in there, get paid, and get out. Do you see what I mean? So what I learned from that is to just stay in my lane, and be the best at what I do. And if there is anything that complements my business, which I have picked up along the way, i.e. the asbestos, the strip outs and all that stuff, then yeah, bolt it on. But bolt it on with the complement of each other. And that's the biggest lesson out of that.
Let's come back round to the beginning then. Your kids, obviously with that traumatic experience with the business going on, you weren't aware of the fact that your twin girls were going to be born prematurely.
No,
they were. That happened. That 12 months must have been a bit of a mad period.
It was crazy.
Talk about it.
It was crazy. Do you know what? When you say talk about it, half of it I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of coasting. I was kind of more of a I was more of a support for my wife, more of a support for my older kids as well. Who didn't really. So I got 4 kids. Got 4 kids. So I was more of a support for them, and being the man, but neglected myself at the same time. Didn't realise that. Then went through a bout of suffering from anxiety, which I understand more now than I ever did then.
Right. Mental health is.
It's something that
key. People don't talk about. Our generation, we didn't talk about.
We never spoke about it.
1 inch.
We never spoke about it. So it was like, to me, it was like I'm just thinking to myself, like, what's wrong with you? Like sort yourself out. You've got this. You've got to get back to this. And then I sort of closed up a little bit. Business went like really, went really low.
Slim life.
Yeah. Literally just getting by, and then we brought the girls home, and that's when I knew I had to sort of.
No choice.
Yeah, I had no choice. It had to kick in. I think we got through. We got through Christmas. We got to the end of Christmas, and we had that break. You know, we have the Christmas break. I said after that break, that's it. I'm going. You're going in. I'm going in.
Were you able to even interact with them? How was that for you as the father? Because I'm hearing about the support and what you had for everybody else. But what about you?
Again, it was a haze. Yeah. I remember Ava was the size of my iPhone. Yeah. She was £1.
That's amazing.
She was £1. But the funny thing was, what made me think, like, and the things I've never. It was the whole thing was a day. So when she was, my wife never gave birth, she had a cesarean. So when they took her out, I just saw this little thing, and I didn't realise that actually, it's funny to say, but I didn't realise it was my babies. And then they took them into the.
Didn't compute.
It didn't. Yeah. I just didn't make the full-on connection. I was more worried about my wife and what she'd been through. And then. The nurse asked me to come and see the baby once she cleaned her up and she put in the incubator and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm looking at this thing and I'm trying to connect. And it sounds funny because it's my baby, but I am actually literally trying to connect. So then I'm looking at her, and then she started crying, and because she was so premature, I could see all the organs and I could see all her veins. So her whole body went red. And then the nurse said to me, "Dad, put your hands in the incubator and hold her like she's in the womb." So I've done that. She stopped crying, and then I started crying. Yeah. That was it. Then that was the point where I knew, okay, cool. Like, I do need to sort of sort myself out. I do need to make the right choices because I've got responsibilities. I've always had responsibilities, but I was young, so I didn't really. You know, as you have more and more kids, you get more and more experience as a parent, and you know your roles a bit more. So,
I mean, you might as well flash the branded Capital Waste cup. No, cheers. Why not?
Let's get that in.
Cheers. Why? I mean, so that year, how did you adjust to this new sense of purpose? You know, really bedding down and digging in with the business, but also providing that support at home.
I think I just had a full-on focus. I don't really see it. You're asking me the question now, and it's quite weird that you're asking me the question because it's bringing up things that I've never really sat down and spoke about. But it's crazy. I literally just had to get through it. Day by day, things were getting better. I'd get another contract. This would happen, that would happen, because I was putting myself out there. Yeah. You know, and again.
You've got to put it out there.
You've got to put it out there. But you always, whatever happens, especially in business, whatever happens, you always got to, whether you're down, whether you're low, whether you're high, whether you're winning, you've always got to remain with that good integrity, because you never know when someone's going to come back to you for something. So there was people that I'd done business with like 2 years before, that are coming back saying, Curtis, do you still, and I'm like, yeah, and then they're putting me onto someone else, and then they're putting me onto someone, and that's growth. That's where growth stems from, is actually sticking with it and being the best at what you, or being known for what you do.
The growth took you to, I think you were the third best waste company.
Yeah, we were at one stage, we was the third largest.
Right, in London.
In London.
I mean, that's a statement. I mean,
yeah.
How did you feel at that point when you'd quantified your status within your business space, within that industry?
I didn't believe it, to be honest. Little old me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, little old me, and you got 13 trucks operating around London, and you think to yourself, is that a lot? But in our game, yeah, most people have 1-2 trucks max that do this. But at that time, we had 13. We was operating 13 trucks and a 7.5 ton lorry, and managed to have enough work for it all. So sometimes when I sit there and I look at it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, you are a brand. You have built something.
Bona fide business in the industry.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy sometimes. Sometimes I have to pinch myself, to be honest.
What do you, when you look forward then? Because looking back has brought you to the space where you've achieved all that, experienced all that. When you look forward, what do you expect from yourself?
Well, now I look forward. I look for more. I mean, there is more opportunities, but I'm looking for more stability now.
Right.
I'm more looking to sort of build the business in a way that I can have options, whether I want to sell it, whether I want to hand it over to my family, or that's where we're going. I'm just sort of crossing the T's and dotting the I's, so to speak. Whereas all of this time I've just been growing. Now we're at a stage where we are growing. We're growing more and more rapidly year on year, because as I said, our retention is always been good. So the retention is staying, and we're growing more and more and more. But what I want to do, it sounds funny, but I want to slow it down a little bit so I can concentrate on the business and not lose that service base that we've always had, or what we've been always known for.
So you're at a tipping point where you could lose that personable touch.
That's right.
That you have in order to maybe go more corporate and expand nationally.
That's right, because it's grown into a beast.
Yeah.
So now basically I've got to tame the beast to how I want it. So that's basically where we're at, literally at the moment.
How much holiday do you have, Curtis? Because there's going to be youngsters watching who have got the work ethic, hungry on it, but I want to also provide that counter balance because you and I are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
We'll work Monday to Sunday, do what needs to be done, you know what I mean? But
this is it.
But there needs to be a balance. There needs to be that whole looking after your mental wealth, as I like to attribute to.
Have you got her on camera? Can you see it?
It's just about now you've leaned back, yeah. Does he take a break?
Yeah, he has. Well, he tries to. I send him off a lot.
Yeah.
But he did go on holiday last year.
How long for?
For 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
And just by God's grace, his phone was completely gone.
Brilliant. That was going to be my next question.
Imagine that.
Did he pick up the phone? So you had a proper holiday?
Yeah.
I had a brilliant holiday.
Oh, that's good. Did you have a holiday?
I've had a holiday.
Good.
But I was supporting him while he was away.
So, the key is to answer that question.
That's nice though, but you can leave the business in.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that people find hard.
Because I
it's letting go of the vine. That's what it's called. It's called letting go of the vine. It's my baby.
Yeah.
I've done it. I know how I want it done. I want it done like this. I want it done like that. And I just decided that because as you know, when your kids are getting older, and I'm missing things. I'm missing I'm going home and I'm like, when did she start saying that? Or when did she start doing that? And I just thought to myself, you know what, I need to holiday. So I just booked it. Didn't think about it.
Where'd you go?
We went to Jamaica.
Nice.
So
best holiday in the world.
Best holiday in the world. I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
As you can see from the branding, it's all Jamaican. So it's all tied in.
No shame.
Yeah. So I said I took the girls and my wife to Jamaica for 2 weeks, and then as you said, I was so worried about what's going to happen when I'm not there and so on and so forth. And then literally the second day I was out there, my phone broke down. I couldn't believe it.
Brilliant.
Could not believe it. I was climbing the wall.
God is good.
I was climbing the wall.
God is good. He needed you to chill out for a second.
Exactly. But then I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna check I have my laptop. I said I'll check my emails once a day if I have to. But you know what happens. I've built the foundations are strong enough that I can do this. And I had an amazing holiday. So now I've made a point of doing that once a year at least. Half terms when the kids are off, I'll take a couple of days off and so on and so forth. But that is key to having good staff and having good people.
Good team around you.
Good team around you is key. It's key.
Some advice for the youngsters out there, particularly young black men in London who walk past rubbish every day and would not consider picking it up and starting a business. And not necessarily from that perspective, but just the whole notion of we can be anything we want to be.
That's the thing. That's the thing I want to get across to young black men like myself, anyone really, anyone in general. Is that we live in London. We're very, very lucky to live in London. London is a hub for the whole entire world. It's just like New York. It's a major city. You live in London. There is money available to go and earn. Don't just think about the normal barber shop or the Caribbean restaurant. Think outside the box. Think of something else. One, it's always good to have a trade. No one can take a trade away from you. That's the first thing. But it's not only that. If you don't learn a trade, there's so many other businesses that you can do. Like so many. Like just think. Just keep thinking, and don't think that you can't do it. And don't be scared of competition. Never be scared of competition, because what you can do is you can look at the competition and just be that little bit bigger than them. And the fact of the matter is, as I said, where we live in London, there's food for all. There is definitely food for all. I don't find I don't see anyone as my competitor. I don't have any competitors. That's as far as I'm concerned. The only people I have is alliances. And if I'm really busy, then I can say to them, look, there's a little job. And then when they're really busy, so if they can't, so let's say for instance I use a couple of guys that have one to two trucks, and I'll use them for jobs when I'm overloaded. And then guess what? They now have the power, because they know me, to carry out bigger jobs if they come their way. So if the bigger jobs come their way, they'll be like, Curtis, look, I need help with this, I need a bit of paperwork behind it, and so on and so forth. And we can help each other. So that's what you've got to do, is build alliances and don't see anyone as your competition.
You're 40 next year, as you said. Next year, right?
Yeah.
So, if you sold this business, would you retire? Would you have your eye on another business, or?
I think I'd have to do something. I can't sit down.
You can't sit down.
I can't sit down.
Would you be up for building another entity from scratch?
I feel like I've got the knowledge and the confidence to do it. So yeah, I would. I would. Although Capital Waste has got me all over it. It's my brand. It's my heritage colours. All of this stuff. But don't be fooled. I would sell it. I would sell it. I would sell it.
Well, is there any other business that you would like to foray into, like you could see yourself working in?
There's a couple. There's a couple ideas that I don't want to discuss.
Well, for the next interview.
No, I'm really joking.
No, it's cool. No, I get it. It's fine. I'm like that, so it's fine. Well, listen, Curtis, it's been a pleasure, man, sitting down and talking about business and your business and a 10-year journey.
Thank you.
We're at the start of a new decade now.
This is it.
If I see you in 10 years, it'll be great. If I don't, I know you would have sold it for a shed load of money. So
that's the idea.
So good luck with that. And I mean, if there's anything else you wanna share with the people,
that's it. That's it. If there's anything else, I just
if they need their rubbish, hit you up. Clearly.
Yeah. Of course, hit us up. You can get us on Instagram or anything like that. Yeah, man. And just whoever wants to start a business, just keep going. Just keep going and make yourself known for that. And before you know it, doors will open, man. Doors will open.
Curtis, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.